Okay, this is a quick demo of my software, of my game. It is in an XNA, which allows amateur programmers to write software for the Xbox. Um, it's a it's a additional add-on to the C Sharp library, which is part of Visual Studios. In the game, you fly around a ship, which everybody says is like Geometry Wars, so it's actually based off of Game Maker game, which is no longer around, so I can't find it to credit it. The gunfire is very similar to Geometry Wars, but it's the logical thing to do when you have two thumbsticks. In addition to straight fire, you can burst fire. But what this game is going to be about in the end is not the in battle, it's the out of battle. Here you can do upgrades, like I can get a carrier. These all, of course, just placeholders. Number 2 increases the number of carriers I have. You'd usually only get one, but I have multiple because it's in debug mode. And then eventually I go to next round. And see, now I have a carrier fighting alongside of me. That carrier will spawn up to 8 drones to fight at once, and it will just keep spawning them until it falls. I can control both by using my controller or by using the keyboard. I can also control what direction I fly using the keyboard, but I did that back when I used QWERTY, and now that I'm used to Dvorak, it's a pain in the butt. The keys are so far apart, it's not even funny. But I still haven't keyed burst fire on here. Eventually, there's going to be another area where you configure your weapons. So I could configure to have missiles, burst fire, mines, single shot, arc fire. But right now I don't. This is, of course, very early alpha. Once again, I can increase the range. A lot of these things don't make sense. Like, carriers don't use range. They don't use firepower. They don't. Fire rate up does increase how fast they put out dronelets. They don't use speed, but they do use health and number of drones. So I'm going to summon 2. Go next round twice. And I used to have them form a just giant ring. But that didn't make sense, and it was kind of weird. So now they form these little clusters here. You'll eventually get that cluster to be full touching. I kind of want to make it so they space apart the more they have, but I don't have that yet. And my drones will keep flying in there, and eventually they will form a wall-like structure that you can see on the minimap. If I get close, I force the enemies to retarget. This game used to support multiple players. And I can't go up a menu. I used to also be able to switch teams mid-game, but I can't now for some odd reason. I'll have to figure out why. I used that for debugging. I can, of course, change the stats of my character. For instance, you saw how far I was firing before. Now I can fire across the map. There's a lot more.
Did you create this game?
The other stats are such as drones, the drone upgrades, such as, I don't think number does anything, but they have speed up, health up, range, firepower, rate. They will, if you increase their range, they will hold back. They'll stop moving and start firing as soon as they're in range and start taking pot shots. Of course, the enemy's accidentally dodging because they're trying to attack me. So, I also have a free camera mode I use, of course, for debugging and just to take artillery shots, which I don't know why I am, so it's kind of hard to. There's my shot showing up. And that's just a quick demo of what I'm doing. I have a lot of plans, but none of them seem to be fruition. This game has been had no progress in the last 1.5 years, so hopefully I work on it eventually. But if you look at my radar, you can see the line I was talking about. There it is. And eventually, if you had two teams with equal stats, which we don't right now, the other side will have a line, and they'll firing off at each other as if they were in the Revolutionary War. Okay, that was just a quick demo of what I'm doing in programming.